Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. So, previously, we investigated the scene of the crime. A double homicide, it looks like, inside a courthouse. The very same courthouse, and indeed, the very same waiting room that Phoenix Wright usually hangs out in. So, I say double homicide because while everyone currently thinks that these two men killed each other, no, Miles is starting to catch on that foul play was probably involved. And, someone staged the scene so people would think they killed each other. And then he and Franziska started talking in circles, trying to clarify the order in which things happened. And it got a bit ridiculous, even for Ace Attorney standards. And now, I think we're almost done with this argument. We have just one last thing to convince Franziska of, so let's hear from her. It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rell's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order. I just know that Franziska's explanation isn't absolutely correct. Yeah, if they attacked each other at the same time, why aren't there any scorch marks on... Wait, who was the one who got the bullet? I think it was Faraday. Wait, no. Rell had the knife, so Rell would have the bullet hole. Whatever, it doesn't matter. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. A bullet hole, even. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction. So let's take this bit by bit.
Hold it! Objection!
About that. Pressing someone's testimony in order to gain some time to think. Oh. I'm guilty as charged. You're a real one-trick pony, aren't you? It's too bad your trick only works on fools. That wasn't my intent. I simply wished for more details as to how Mr. Faraday ended up on top of Mr. Rell. Someone's impatient. I was just about to explain everything to you. So do you think you could hold on for a minute? Arg. Franziska, I'll make you a deal. I'll hold on if you hold on to that whip of yours. Oh, I'll hold on to it all right, as I whip you. Arg. Well, now that you've quieted down a bit, I'd like to continue if you don't mind. The two bodies fell into a pile. The two fell on top of each other. Don't you find that to be just a bit strange? Not at all. Ang! I can see it in her eyes. She's dead set against me from the bottom of her heart. Miles Edgeworth, once I'm done here, you'll see that there's nothing strange at all. Now then, the two men fell into a pile, which indicates that they attacked each other at the same time. What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time? I assume Mr. Faraday had the two different weapons in his hands. What? He made to attack Mr. Rell while holding both the knife and revolver. And then, after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. Rell grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. Wow, that is incredibly far-fetched. No, I don't agree. That is how Mr. Rell wound up on the bottom with Mr. Faraday on top. At close range, that is more than possible. Yes, it's possible, but... Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got. Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony. Humph. I don't see any point to that, but as you please. Aha! Indicates they attacked each other at the same time from close range. Well, there it is. Which one do we do for, Okay, fired from a few yards away. So, this contradicts it.
Objection!
So you believe they killed each other at close range. Sorry, but that's impossible. Just as it is written in the crime scene notes, the firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rell's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rell and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. Ah! Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rell moved that far from after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation. Oh, what a completely foolish line of foolish thought from a thoroughly foolish fool! If I'm not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill, huh? Who? The person that attacked first with murderous intent. That would be... I'm pretty sure it's neither man. I'm... like... come on, It would just be narratively weird if they really did kill each other. You know, there's gotta be a third party out there. Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can be only one explanation. There was a third person here. It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell, and set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. That third person is the real culprit. Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing. Evidence, correct? Exactly. Everything you've said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head. However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove that there was a third person involved in this crime? Of course. If a third person was truly here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has all been a setup made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. I'll do what now? What is the piece of evidence that proves there is a third person involved? Oh, geez. Is it that Faraday was left-handed? So someone must have put the gun in his right hand and not knowing that? Let's see. Faraday died of a knife stab to the chest. Shock from the stabbing caused instant death. Rell had a bullet to the chest. No gunpowder burn on his clothes. Shot from a few yards away. Possible he was alive a little while after being shot. It was weird that there were bags strewn on the floor, but of course you could say that maybe they fell off in like a... well... The table showed no sign of a struggle. Everything was neat and orderly, like there was a tea set there. But even still, there's always a possibility. In a hypothetical scuffle between the two men, the bags could have fallen. Found in Faraday's hand, but it was his right hand. I think the fountain pen is my best shot. If not that, then I'll try the bag.
Take that!
This is that very evidence. And exactly how is this related? Do you think you could explain it to me? There is no need for an explanation? Come on, Miles. Well, I have no idea how it's related, so could you please explain it to me? Yes, well, let me guess. You can't explain it, can you? Oh, that's good. She very slowly got angry. Okay. Well, I wasn't wrong. The game just wouldn't let me make the connection. Let's look at the... Yeah, hold on. The bloody bag is nowhere near their bodies. How could Faraday's blood possibly get on it? Ah, man. I should think things through more.
Take that!
The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. Okay. Maybe if I presented the gun instead of the pen. Ah, crap. Ah, well. These two items point to the presence of a third person. How so? Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground, meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. Do you not see the possibility in this? Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood splatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could use the bag to catch any blood splatter from when they withdrew the knife. Oh, whoa. Then, by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one in with them, and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they are able to conceal their presence. Ah! Looks like we've still got a long way to go in the investigation. Yes.
Objection!
Whomst? Oh, was that supposed to be Callisto's voice? That sounded like a man. Oh well. What the heck's up with you, pal? Also, that's the judge. Hi, Judge. He has legs. I just took psychic damage. Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest. I knew it. I knew they'd pin it on him. I knew it. What? What's the meaning of this? Huh. Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates. Don't you dare. That detective claims he was there, standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that it was all a giant lie. Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement. I'll let His Honor explain it himself. Oh my God. I saw it with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway. What? See, Mr. Bad? So I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie? Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday? No! Of course not, sir. It would appear that the one who set the whole crime scene up is that detective, which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Was that statement really a lie? Detective Gumshoe, you're now suspect in the murder of 2 men. Now spit out the truth, or so help me. I haven't lied to anyone, sir. Honest. I really was there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not? Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly. Perfection is the only wish of a disciple of Von Karma, after all. Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something. And what's that? What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? Yeah, why wasn't he in there? Detective Gumshoe, why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time? Look, pal, like I said, I was there the whole time, okay? Yeah, I know that's what he said, but it's only explanation.
Objection!
Miles Edgeworth, why are you wasting our time with a completely useless question? The only logical reason as to why he was absent is that he was busy committing the crime. Anyone who says otherwise is a fool. Nyark. Maybe I should ask about something else. Okay. If you were really in the hallway, what was it like? Detective Gumshoe, I take it that no one else was in that hallway at any time, correct? Oh, of course not, pal. You're being awfully defensive. Might you be hiding something from me? Watch your mouth, pal. You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence. I suppose you're right. I have no evidence at this point. Miles Edgeworth, how can you be losing a battle of wits with this detective? You're a disgrace. Nyark. Well, the reason I didn't pick this one is because of course Gumshoe wouldn't have a motive. What the hell is this? How could this be correct? I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. Oh yeah! Right. I'm so used to, trying to expose people that I didn't realize that, oh yeah, he has no motive. That's ironclad defense. Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything? No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir. Is that a fact?
Objection!
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe? I'm telling you, I am not lying. The more unnatural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know. If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Oh, man. Man, 20 minutes ago my lungs are feeling so good, but now, here comes that cough again, damn. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. You're serious, aren't you? Fine, you amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. Oh man, jumping right into this, huh? Okay. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." A brand new detective suddenly getting a salary cut? That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for a perfect explanation? You totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge. Quiet. Can't trust anything you say. Sir. There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed, per se. But there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Miss Yu's perfect explanation may not be so perfect at all. About a week ago.
Hold it!
A week ago. Then you and Detective Gumshoe are acquaintances. No way, I only met him in person today. Then how did you know about Detective Gumshoe? Oh, I've seen him around before. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct.
Hold it!
Mr. Faraday was upset. Yeah, you know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. There he was, totally beat red in the face. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost, like he was about to die. Just like the face he's making now, right? Oh, I'm completely innocent, I tell ya. The poor man. Ahem. It was quite the scene with the detective. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit."
Hold it!
You just stood there, watching this unfold in front of you. Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. Yeah, probably. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him. No way! I thought it was because I had something stuck in my face. Well, there is that kind of, well, you've kind of, spent, 7 or, maybe 10 years in a row with, that little piece of paper on your cheek because you keep cutting yourself while shaving. What do you do? What have I got stuck on my face? Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth, and those ridiculous eyebrows. Wow. Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun. Miss Yu, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now. Sure, why not? A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut. That's reason enough for a grudge.
Hold it!
To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that. I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice? Yes. Or it will be. Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you threaten to do that to me earlier too? I suppose I did. It's only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to their actual worth. My father can even fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. Do you think maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people? Well, I guess they really shouldn't cut people's pay. He said that so slowly, like he was afraid to say it. Detective Bad, don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier. Probably. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
Hold it!
You call your explanation perfect. Is it not to your liking? Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh? Is there something you want me to clarify in that case? What should I do? I mean, I literally have no evidence in my organizer relating to a week ago, so yeah, this is our only chance here. All right, if you could clear this one thing up for me. Right. Motive for killing Mr. Rell. I did have a thought about that earlier. Yes, clearly the defense for that could be, the counterplay to saying what's the motive is that Rell was in the wrong place at the wrong time and was a convenient tool to stage like a double murder and absolve Gumshoe of any implication. So I don't think this is a good choice. Faraday and Gumshoe's relation. Callisto doesn't need to justify this. What she saw was enough. But if we say how Mr. Faraday was killed, how was that possible? Callisto would have to explain how Gumshoe could have walked into the doorway, and killed them. She'd have to explain that. That's the most work for her to do, so I think this is our best chance. You still haven't explicitly established how Mr. Faraday was killed.
Objection!
Going senile already, Miles? Mr. Faraday was stabbed to death with a knife. Yes, but how did Gumshoe do that? What I meant to ask was, how were the two men killed when they were in a guarded room? We're going to find that out very soon from Gumshoe at his interrogation, boy. But, oh, come on. Oh, you're right, Edgeworth. Poor baby. Tell you what, I'll let you have another go. How's that? How nice. Well... I don't like picking motive for killing Mr. Rell, because that's like changing the subject. Let's try this. Actually, allow me to ask the detective directly. What was your what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? Mr. Faraday was in charge of training rookie detectives to testify in trials. I met him on the very first day I entered the criminal affairs department, pal. Oh, I had no idea Mr. Faraday was so involved. Faraday may look like an easygoing guy, but he's actually a bit of a nut for strict discipline and manners. Guys like Gumshoe tended to rub him the wrong way. There, now you know how the detective and Mr. Faraday were related. Happy now? No, but wait. Really? But asking what Gumshoe's motive to kill Mr. Rell is self-evident. It's the most incredibly obvious thing in the world. Why would I ever pick that? This sucks. I don't like this. I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rell? His motive for killing Rell? Like I would know. If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves? Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea. Come on. What? But that's impossible. She must know something. Wait. Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh. I didn't even do anything and you're already laughing away. Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway. Oh? Would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation. Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight, or is that a requisite trait for being a Von Karma? Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you shut this rude woman up. I wish you to both be quiet for just 1 second. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids. Motive to kill the men. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Well, I mean, it could be to cover up stuff about the Kodopian embassy killing. Yeah? No? Okay. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. Let's see. I think Callisto herself might have motive. Faraday was the prosecutor in the KG-8 incident. And I believe he failed to prosecute CCU's killer. And CCU would of course be the sister of Callisto. As for why Callisto would want to kill Rel, I'm not quite sure. The second KG-8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member, and the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who was somehow related to them? There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel.
Hold it!
So there is no one else who might have a grudge against both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. I suppose no one is a bit of a stretch. But I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in this courthouse today. She's lying through her teeth. We just saw someone like that here earlier. Besides, you don't need to prove that the killer had a grudge against both men. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men.
Hold it!
Someone with a grudge against one of the men. In that case, aren't there plenty of other people who fit the bill? Sure. After all, who doesn't garner scorn from another simply by being alive? But the only one who had a grudge and acted upon it by killing was Detective Gumshoe. Furthermore, Mr. Rel, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder.
Hold it!
So you're saying that he was basically silenced? Aren't you glad he managed to avoid the same fate, Your Honor? Why, if you had been the one to witness the blood-covered detective... What? Detective Gumshoe? You would kill even me? What? I could never do something terrible as that, Your Honor. There is no need for even a second of deliberation. I will hand down my verdict. Your Honor, take a look around. We are not in court right now. It would be greatly appreciated if you would stay here with us in reality. Oh, please forgive me. I know not what I do. And you there, Miss Yu, hurry up and continue with your testimony. If you fail to do so, I will whip you into shape. That's nice. Sounds kind of like fun, actually. Oh no, she's into it. Anyway, Detective Gumshoe has to erase the witness, Mr. Rel. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity, and set up to look like they had killed each other.
Hold it!
I didn't do it, pal. No hard feelings, but I don't think we can take the word of a criminal seriously. Oh. But I can't even think up ways to set up a crime scene. I suppose you do lack the necessary tactical mind required to do such a thing. Why do you have to kick a man when he's down, pal? Because you're the butt monkey of the group. You shouldn't put yourself down, detective. You're a big boy. I bet you thought it all up by yourself, right? Yeah, that's right. And I worked real hard at it, too. I think this proves one thing about the detective. He has the mental acuity of a worm. I have to admit, her explanation makes sense. However, there is also something that she overlooked in her testimony. I should present that piece of evidence and see if it can't make her see the truth. Okay. Let's see. Look, this KG-8 incident overview is literally the one and only piece of evidence I have that even mentions another person. Like, this is just testimony about where he was, this is about people. So, on which line do I present this on? I should really make sure I get this right, because I need to restore as much HP as I can. That's obviously true. I don't have any hard evidence against that. Okay, every statement that follows from this is building on this statement. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. Therefore, she talks about all this about Gumshoe and his potential motive. So therefore, this has to be what she's overlooking. Let's give it a shot. Phew. Miss Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? We are looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident. Wait, what? And a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian Embassy staff, Mr. Rell. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two. You covered for me, pal. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, these are the only things I wish to hold. But I didn't do it. Humph. You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak out. You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time. And why is that? Oh man. Theme of bad. Cochin was up in the viewing gallery, watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived. Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so. No way! Come on, Detective Bad, you've got to believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, then are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? Ow. That sneeze came out of nowhere. No, there was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it? That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt. I have to admit it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up, "I spaced out while on duty," or the like. Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation. Detective Bad? Aw. You'll be a free man yet.
Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Ho, ho, ho.
God bless that judge. I love him. Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh?
Before we do, Miss Yu, there is something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it?
Well, okay. To have set those two men up and make it look like they killed each other. If there's one thing I cannot forgive, it's the desecration of the dead. Oh, I accidentally investigated the corpses.
So? What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, okay. The current case of the murdered Kodopian Embassy staff member. I've heard that people have begun calling it the second to KG-8 incident.
Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it?
I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers.
No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident.
I'd appreciate it if you'd stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know?
I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here.
Think you can stop making that ultra-serious face in front of me?
Yerk. If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway like this. I'm just going to have to show her exactly how related to the KG-8 incident she is. Callisto, you're related by blood. Miss Yu, I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident.
That file is your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident?
Through the victim. Your connection to the KG-8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case?
Sorry, but we're not related. Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face that I couldn't help but...
Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth.
Ahem. All right, I'll tell you everything I know.
All right. Getting down to the bottom of this.
As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Mono Group was my sister, CCU.
Okay, look, I'm thinking of the letters CCU. It has to be like an initialism, right? What's the joke here? It's gonna blindside me at some point, man. I'm stealing myself. As I thought.
And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial by Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree. All because of a lack of evidence. No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist. What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence.
Yatagarasu. Then, the evidence had been tampered with?
Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amano group by one of its secretaries? They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along.
How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation?
I don't really know, which is why I wanted to become the lead defense on this case that people are calling the second KG-8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know.
You mean, you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring?
I don't know what to think.
Well, that's some nuance. Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier?
Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was a defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face.
Ooh, nice.
The way she talks about slapping him as if she laughs away is kind of creepy. As she laughs away. Ahem. But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around, and people in the gallery claimed that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh?
That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life.
Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we?
Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see.
Look at you with your game face on, ready to go.
I'm making no such face.
Did you know laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth?
Wow, you must be very sick.
Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time?
I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty. Man, I have no need for laughter. Well, that's just about the saddest thing I've ever read.
There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up.
The KG-8 incident and this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus, that Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly, this case is far from over. But whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth. To be continued. Oh, splendid. So, like, what the hell happens next? Like, what other place could we possibly investigate? That room was so self-contained. How could there be evidence elsewhere? Also, it looks like that poor security guard is dealing with a broken water fountain. Oh, man. Also, is that guy laying on the couch yet still saluting? Okay, there's a lot going on here. Oh, well. This is a perfect place to put in a bookmark. Right, so, man. Alright, I'm still a bit miffed about that. The logic or lack thereof in trying to point out Gumshoe's potential motive to kill Matt Corell. I'm still mad about that. That was dumb. Ugh. Well, it would be pretty dang nice if we could take down Cochin. He is a smelly man. A very smelly man who smells like trouble. He smells like guilty. He smells like a murderer. So maybe I was too hasty to level an accusation against Callisto herself. Like, it would be a weird step for, you know, a defense attorney to kill, well, I say that, and yet here we are standing face to face with Manfred von Karma, who is, well, a murderous member of law enforcement, so what the hell do I know? There's absolutely 100% a cover-up. In more ways than one. There's a cover-up for the KG8 incident. There's a cover-up here. Someone wanted to silence Faraday and Rel. And someone is keeping Gumshoe's tongue tied. Someone said something to Gumshoe to make him stay silent. That's the feeling I'm getting out of this. Well, from here, I guess all we can really do is press onward and see what new stuff is uncovered. I look forward to speaking more with Von Karma and all these guards. I want to see what the deal is with that saluting guy on the couch, but that can wait. Meantime, I'm probably gonna go record some more Dark Souls 3. Yeah, I started up a new series running parallel to this one. I'm playing Dark Souls 3 with a special mod that overhauls the game and adds like a 10,000 trillion new things. It's crazy. I'm losing my shit at every second over there. Go check it out, Dark Souls 3 Convergence. Anyway, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Ace Attorney Investigations. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.